Hi, this video will give you a very brief overview of the Microsoft Teams interface. So this is just going to kind of show you where stuff is and what you might see. Okay, the first thing I did, I just logged in Office 365 and I click on Teams. Now, if you don't have Teams in your list right here, all you have to do is click on All Apps and it will be in that list, which is a much longer list. Okay, so I'm going to click on Teams. And this is what I'm going to see. You may not have all of the teams I have. You may have one or you may not have any, and that's okay. But this is the view that I have. Now, if sometimes you might also see this view, and again, don't worry about how I did this. I'm just showing you this is what you might see, okay? So it might be in list form, which is like this. I'm not a huge fan of list form, so I'm going to switch back to grid. And that's what that looks like. Okay, so my class we're going to go from today is just this one called Dave's class. So we get into it. Now, on the left side, I want to go over some of these buttons here. The activity button is where if anybody posts in your post a question or replies to a question or a post that you have posted, or any sort of background stuff happens with Teams, you'll be notified in activity. It'll either have a red button on it or it'll have a red number or something of that sort. But it'll be highlighted so that you know there's something in there that you need to see. Okay, the chat we're not going to really talk about, and the reason for that is that students have chat disabled for our whole region. So only teachers can chat. So we're just kind of not going to cover that. Teams, you can see, is the one that we're in. Okay, now if I click Teams again, it would take me back to that first screen that had the grid of all that there. I can also click All Teams, and that will take me back to that same screen as well. All right, assignments we're going to cover a little bit later. The rest of these I'm not going to touch on right now. I do want to talk about the desktop version of Teams is good. We say a lot with the Office 365 applications that the desktop version is usually way better than the online version. That's not the case for Teams. Teams online version is as close to the desktop version as any of their apps. So it's okay. You may have it on your computer already. I wouldn't be surprised, but if not, you could click on here to download the desktop app and have that. Okay. The other thing I want to draw your attention to is the help. Microsoft's help under training has all sorts of really short, sweet videos on very specific topics, and they're very good as far as quality goes. They're very good videos and shows you what is what. Okay, now in our training, we're going to have some of these videos, but we're also going to have more Horsehead specific videos, which are going to show some more of the procedures that we want you to follow. But I just want to bring this to your attention in case you're looking for something specific. This is one way you could get some help. Okay, so back to my team. Okay, so I'm in Dave's class. On the left side here, the white part here is where our channels live. Okay, so everybody starts with a general channel. Now, pre-K through 4, we actually are going to create your teams for you, your class teams. We are also going to put ourselves in your teams as owners so that you can reach out to us for support and we can get right in there and help you. Okay, so it's just part we thought about so that you can get us as fast as you need. All right, your principals are also going to be in your teams, and the reason for that is there's a way where you can a principal could send a message out to all the teams that they belong to. And the reason for that is if they wanted to do like a message to the whole school, that's the way that they're going to be able to do that. Okay, so just in case you look at the membership of your team, that is why those people are in there as owners. Okay, the next thing we'll see here is the three dots. You know Microsoft and their three dots, they have them all over. So right here, if I click on the three dots, this is where I could manage my team, and this is where you would see those members. Okay, right now this one I only have me, but you would see more people there. And then your students would be here. Again, pre-K to 4, we're going to do that part for you, so don't worry about that. But this is where you would see those members of your class. All right, I'm not gonna dwell on that right now because we'll get into that more later. So again, these are the channels: the general channel and the communication channel. So in the general channel, students will not be able to chat or do a conversation or anything. The general channel is meant for your daily lessons and the information that you want to put out to the class without getting any feedback or questions or anything, okay? The communication channel is where that stuff will happen. That's where you can post a question and people can reply back to it, or you know, anything you can think of where you have the back and forth with your class. That will happen in communication. Again, general is just for when you upload your materials for assignments and things, your videos, whatever you have, you can put all that in the general channel. Okay. Let's talk about conversations a little bit. You can see that it's called posts. All right, and if you watch any other videos, like in the help guides, you might see that called different things. You might see it called conversations. You might see it called chat. That's because they've changed this a few times recently, and so all the videos kind of haven't caught up yet. So if I am the owner or the teacher in this group, on the general channel, I can click on start a new conversation. Okay, and that's where this stuff is, and we're going to show you later how you can make an announcement and format text and pictures and stuff. You can attach, just like you would attach anything to an email, any sort of file, video, you can attach there. It does have emojis, which are fun, especially for the kids, and animated GIFs, and little stickers and stuff that are just kind of the cutesy things. Those three things. All right, we're going to go over a lot of this later. The Meet Now. Praise this is where you would praise certain kids and stuff, that kind of thing. Okay, so that's what those ones are. Now under files, whenever you attach anything to a conversation, okay, in the general channel, this does not happen in the communication channel, but in the general channel, if you attach a file to a conversation, it will go to the files folder for your team, and where it will show up is in a folder that actually, it is here, class materials. Okay, now if I hover over class materials, you're going to see that this is read only for students. Okay, that's important. If I upload anything, this looks a lot like OneDrive, and I'm not going to get into a real deep thing on this yet because we're going to do it later. But if I upload anything and it's out here in the open, everybody in the team can edit it. But if it's in class materials, only I can edit it, which is good to know. Okay, again, we're just trying to get you up and going to get to the posts or the conversation tab, and to be able to communicate with your students and attach assignments and lessons and things of that nature. Okay, so that's basically the overview of what things look like in Teams. Don't forget, we're always here for support, and that's why we put us in your teams.